Welcome to the Rip Van Winkle Council Boy Scouts of America 2020 Distinguished Citizens Award, virtual dinner and auction. My name is Derek White and I'm an Eagle Scout from Troop 36 in Saugerties, New York. Tonight we're celebrating people and our organizations who make a difference in our community, making it better through their work and service to others. You can help make a difference right now in the life of a scout in Ulster or Greene counties by donating to rvwbsa.org/donate-now. We usually hold this event in person, but we are going virtual this year to keep everyone safe during this pandemic. On behalf of more than 800 scouts in the Rip Van Winkle Council and our adult volunteers, I want to thank everyone who has given already to make this fundraiser a success and everyone who will contribute during this event. It is now my honor to introduce you to our Master of Ceremonies for this event, Mr. Ward Todd. He's the President and CEO of the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Todd has volunteered to be the Master of Ceremonies for our annual Distinguished Citizens Award dinner for more than 5 years, and we really appreciate his time and talent to help us. Thank you, Mr. Todd.
Welcome to the Rip Van Winkle Council Boy Scouts of America 2020 Distinguished Citizens Award Dinner. It's our first ever virtual one. My name is Ward Todd. I'm the President of the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's event. Like many not-for-profits, the Rip Van Winkle Council is committed to continuing its mission while fundraising during this pandemic. This event is very important to the Council because it showcases the ideas of scouting that are exemplified in our community leaders, while raising money for the Council to provide the character building programs that we make available to our scouts. The Council invests more than $500 per scout annually to provide these quality programs that scouting has long been recognized for. And with your support, more than 800 youth in Ulster and Greene counties develop leadership and life skills while making a difference in our community through their service projects. And you'll hear more about some of those shortly. So please help scouts in Ulster and Greene counties by making a donation right now or bidding on our silent auction items. There are more than 50 items in this year's auction, including a 3-night condo stay at Killington Ski Resort in beautiful Vermont, and original works of art and signed artwork prints. Ulster Savings Bank values the work of the Council with the youth in our community and is this year's major sponsor at the Eagle level. Here to tell you more about Ulster Savings sponsorship of scouting is the bank's president and CEO, who is also the current Rip Van Winkle Council president and who was recognized by the Council last year as an outstanding Eagle Scout. Please welcome Bill Calderera. Bill?
Hi, I'm Bill Calderera, President and CEO of Ulster Savings Bank and President of the Rip Van Winkle Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Welcome to our first ever virtual tribute to our distinguished citizens and our Corporate Citizen Award recipients for 2020. Thank you, Ward, for being our Master of Ceremonies. Ulster Savings Bank is a major sponsor of this event and a proud supporter of scouting. From my own experience, scouting has been a big part of my life for many years. I joined Cub Scouts when I was 7 years old, and I advanced to Eagle Scout. I have been involved in some way for over 50 years, but I had no idea when I joined that I would become such a big part of my life. I just wanted to do some of the fun things that some of the other scouts were doing. I didn't realize the values, skills, and life lessons I was learning would shape my character forever. We're excited that all of our scouting programs now offer the opportunity for girls and young women to participate. They've always been involved in our Explorer and Sea Scouts programs for years, but now they're also in our Scouting BSA and our Cub Scout programs. As Council President, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our sponsors for this virtual event. Your support makes a big difference in the lives of our Scouts, and they in turn make a big difference in our community. I want to thank all of our professional staff that make our Council run, and all of our volunteers and our supporters of Scouting. Our board members, district committees, commissioners, merit bear counselors, and especially our unit leaders, from Scoutmasters to den leaders. Your dedication is the foundation of our scouting program. And now, like all good scouting events, we begin with an opening ceremony. Here are some of the scouts from our Rip Van Winkle Council to lead us.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
A scout is
trustworthy,
loyal,
helpful,
friendly,
courteous,
kind,
obedient,
cheerful,
thrifty,
brave,
Clean.
and reverent.
on my honor,
I will do my best
To do my duty.
To God and my country.
and to obey the Scout Law.
To help all people at all times.
to keep myself physically strong
Mentally awake.
and morally straight.
A big thank you to our Scouts for that opening ceremony. If you're just joining us, my name is Ward Todd, and I'm your Master of Ceremonies, welcoming you two to the Rip Van Winkle Council Boy Scouts of America 34th Annual Distinguished Citizen Dinner and Online Auction to benefit the Council, which serves scouting youth in Ulster and Greene counties. Tonight's fundraiser supports our Scouts who make a difference in our community through their service projects. Like the significant projects each Scout must lead, plan, and complete to receive Scouting's highest rank, that of Eagle Scout. Last year, the Rip Van Winkle Council advanced 40 youth to the rank of Eagle, an increase of 20% over 2018. Remarkable. Eagle Scouts spend thousands of hours planning and leading projects that honor our military, assist the elderly, benefit children, young adults and families, and enhance our community spaces. One of last year's Eagle Scouts is Erwin Lampman from Troop 43 in Cairo, New York, who restored the graves of Civil War veterans in his town. Erwin is currently attending Hudson Valley Community College in the Electrical Construction and Maintenance program. Here's Erwin to tell you a little bit about his project.
My name's Erwin Lampman. I am Boy Scout of Troop 43, Cairo, New York. My project was the restoration of 3 Civil War veterans' headstones and the construction of a sign marking the cemetery. I chose this project as a challenge, a little bit, and it's near my house, and it's something I pass every day when I'm going to college, and other things I do. I saw it, and people sort of just drive past it and just see it as a cemetery or don't know exactly what it is or what's in it. And I sort of wanted to bring attention to it and be able to show people and say, you know, there's not just headstones in here. We have veterans, we have 3 Civil War veterans, and it's turned out to be a very amazing project. Do I feel like my project made a difference? Community, I feel like it did, because it brought the cemetery out. It allowed people to be able to see the cemetery and be able to say, hey, you know, that's what the cemetery's name is, that's what's in it. It made me a better person, I feel like. I had a very good time in the troop. I enjoyed it. I've been there, I guess, for 8 or 9 years now, and it's taught me a lot about life and everything I would need to know.
Thank you, Erwin, and thank you for the hundreds of hours that you spent working on your own and leading other Scouts to help you accomplish your goal. Now here's Dana Coons to let you know how you can help Scouts continue to benefit from leadership development through Scouting.
Hello friends, and thank you so much for taking the time to hear about Scouting and all the benefits it offers Ulster and Greene County youth. Here's how you can make a difference in the lives of our Scouts and help them continue to make a difference in our community today. Just go to one of the links below. To donate online, go to www.rvwbsa.org/donate-now and select the 2020 Distinguished Citizens Award Dinner from the drop-down menu. To bid on our auction up until 6 p.m. on Sunday, December 13th, just go to www.biddingowl.com/Rip Van Winkle Council Boy SCO. That's www.biddingowl.com/Rip Van Winkle Council Boy SCO. Bidding is one word, as is Rip Van Winkle Council Boy SCO. If you'd like to mail your donation in, just make checks payable to RVW BSA and mail to 1300 Ulster Avenue, Suite 107, Kingston, New York, 12401. On behalf of more than 800 scouting youth in Ulster and Greene counties, thank you. Thank you for all you do for Scouting.
To help Scouts benefit from the life and leadership development programs available through Scouting, please make a donation right now or bid on our silent auction items online by just clicking on the links in the Facebook post. Even in this time of shutdowns and restrictions, our Scouts have continued to earn merit badges and complete community service projects. Here to give us a brief update on how the Rip Van Winkle Council continues to fulfill its mission during these challenging times is the Council's Scout Executive, Dana Coons, who started in his new role just back in January. Dana?
Hello, friends. My name is Dana Coons, and I am the Scout Executive of the Rip Van Winkle Council, Boy Scouts of America. I'd like to take a moment and thank our recipients tonight. Each of our recipients, both County Executive Ryan and Adams Fairacre Farms, have demonstrated an outstanding commitment to our communities, especially when faced with the impact of COVID-19 this past year. Both are very deserving of the award. As we've known, 2020 has been a very challenging year for all of us, including the Scouting program. I say that knowing that the Scouting program has continued even when faced with these challenges. In life, we have learned with every challenge comes an opportunity. Shortly after COVID hit and the world was shut down, Scouting, sometimes through its own Scouts, started meeting again virtually, often being organized by youth members using technology not necessarily understood by our own leadership. But they met. Scouting continues to meet and adapt. Last year, our Scouts collected over 65,000 food items as part of a program called Scouting for Food. During this program, food was collected and taken to local food pantries to be distributed to the neighbors and folks in need. I mention this because that same program is taking place today. It's happening again. Our kids are out there collecting food to take to local food pantries so that they can support their friends and neighbors who are in need of additional food. Hopefully you've received a bag and turned one in. Scouting is making a difference in those communities. Troops and packs have begun to find effective ways and creative ways to follow the COVID-19 guidelines in order to meet. Recently, I attended a pack meeting that was held at a public park pavilion. And it was a pack Halloween event, and it was a great day. A shout out to Pack 103. I'm also aware of a troop that bought every Scout in the troop a tent for their own use. This way, when they go camping on weekends, they can maintain social distancing by having one person in a tent, and we don't have to worry about it. And those kids can go camping safely. Scouting continues to make a difference in those Scouts' lives. Scouting is alive and is providing our youth with an opportunity to return to a sense of normalcy, something very important in today's world.
Dana, thank you. You're doing great with less than a year on the job. Congratulations. Let's now turn to a Scout currently working on his Eagle Service project, Moses Tuente. Moses is currently a freshman at Clarkson University, where he's majoring in mechanical engineering. And his roommate recorded Moses in their dorm room to describe how Scouting makes a difference.
Coming in from a different country back then, I guess you could say I was a small kid that wasn't really sure who he was or where he would belong. And I guess Scouting gave me a sort of community, and I was really shy back then. And I guess Scouting also helped me learn and use my voice to be able to express the ideas that I had and be able to lead others. I have made a difference through Scouting by always trying my best to live by the Scout laws, you can say, to always be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, and all those aspects. I try to do that onto others so that they see, and hopefully they can be that to other people, and it sort of spreads. And also in the troop meetings that we may be having, I always put in all my effort into the program so that the people that are coming in know that it's fun and you can actually learn something and still have a good time. You know, I want them to be able to love the program as much as I love the program. The way my scouting unit has made a difference is that they try and they care about those who come into the troop. It's like a nice family that comes in. Everybody knows everyone, and everyone is able to let's say share a tent with everyone because we all get so close. You know, we're known as that try hard troop, but we try hard because we care and we want the people that come in to be better than who they were.
Thank you, Moses. These young men and soon young women who achieve their Eagle Scout rank in the Rip Van Winkle Council are so impressive, making a difference in our community. And for the past 30 plus years, the Council has also recognized community leaders with its Distinguished Citizens Award, celebrating those who've made a difference through their service to others, exemplifying Scouting's ideals. The Council asked several of its previous Distinguished Citizen Award recipients to help select this year's honorees. I was honored to serve as chair of this group and delighted to serve with Dr. Donald Cott, President Emeritus of SUNY Ulster and also an Eagle Scout, Nina Postupak, Ulster County Clerk, Bob Ryan of Ryan & Ryan Insurance, and Charles Bud Walker, Practice Administrator at Hudson Valley Foot Associates. Thank you to Don, Nina, Bob, and Bud for your many contributions that you make right here in our community, and for your thoughtful guidance in selecting this year's honorees. Now, on to our award presentation. This year, the Rip Van Winkle Council is honored to present its 2020 Corporate Citizen Award to Adams Fairacre Farms. For the past 100 years, Adams Fairacre Farms has been well known throughout the Hudson Valley for their commitment to quality. Founded in 1919 by Ralph Adams with just a farm stand in Dutchess County, today this corporate enterprise includes 4 major markets, soon to be 5, in 3 counties, employing more than 1,300 employees. But what many people may not realize is that their commitment extends far beyond the quality of their food products, nurseries, and garden centers. Under the ownership of 3 generations of the Adams family, Adams Fairacre Farms has raised funds, donated food, and devoted their time and resources to countless health and human service organizations. Put simply, the Adams have followed a long family tradition of taking care of their people, their customers, their employees, and the residents in the communities that they serve. In recent years, Adams Fairacre Farms has been honored with numerous awards for their success, including a prestigious Business Excellence Award through the Dutchess County Economic Development Corporation. They received the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce Award for Ulster County Business of the Year in 2015. And last year, Adams was recognized as a Business of Historical Distinction by the Dutchess County Historical Society, as well as an award for Best Place to Work by the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce. But the Adams' commitment to attracting and retaining employees extends far into the communities that they serve. Adams Fairacre Farms has also been recognized for providing vocational opportunities through their employment and training of individuals with disabilities, earning them well-deserved employer recognition awards from organizations that serve these individuals, such as Abilities First in 2018 and ARC of New York in 2019. With such a long and outstanding history of service, it should then come as no surprise that when our region was in the throes of this pandemic, Adams Fairacre Farms could be counted on to step up and serve their communities across multiple platforms. Adams once again demonstrated what it means to truly be an essential business in the Hudson Valley. For this reason, and the Adams' long-standing commitment to the well-being of our communities, the Rip Van Winkle Council Boy Scouts of America is honored to recognize Adams Fairacre Farms with the 2020 Corporate Citizen Award. Here to present the 2020 Corporate Citizen Award to Adams Fairacre Farms, Dana Coons.
Good evening. My name is Dana Coons, and I'm the Scout Executive of the Rip Van Winkle Council. It's my pleasure to recognize Adams Fairacre Farms as the Distinguished Corporate Citizen for 2020.
On behalf of the over 1,000 Scouts and Scouters in our council, we believe that Adams has done a wonderful job this year and historically in serving the community. This year in particular with COVID-19, there have been many challenges, and Adams has gone out of the way to protect themselves, their employees, and the customers that they serve. For that, we'd like to recognize Adams Ferry Farms as the 2020 Distinguished Corporate Citizen.
On behalf of Adams, I just want to thank Dana and the Boy Scouts of America for this Distinguished Corporate Citizen Award. Adams is honored to be the recipient of this award. It's humbling to us. You know, I've worked for Adams for 35 years. I've been a Boy Scout as a child. My father was a Boy Scout. And I've had the honor to be assistant leader at Boy Scouts at Troop 135 out of Glasgow. And it's a feel good on both sides for me, because I know that I'm dealing with something on the Adams side and the Boy Scout side of the value system, being concerned about the community, volunteering, watching Adams over the years do fundraisers and always donating and always being involved in the community. It's always been a feel-good working for Adams. The Adams family really promotes that aspect of it. It's who they are.
Thank you to everyone at Adams Ferry Farms for all you've done to support our community. We are so truly appreciative of all the charitable events you've provided through the years at your stores in Poughkeepsie, Kingston, Wappingers Falls, Newburgh, and soon in Walk Hill. Adams has made a difference in so many lives of Hudson Valley residents, and you can too, right now, by making a donation on the council's website or bidding on one of our online silent auction items. Do it right now. The difference scouting makes is best explained right from our scouts. Let's take a look at Saugerties High School senior scout Derek White, making a difference through his Eagle Scout Service Project.
I believe that every scout needs some significant connection to do the project, to have a motivational aspect to it. My motivation was that my father's TA, her teacher's assistant, Vicky, she was my babysitter when I was really young, she passed away. So when I heard that there may be a possibility to do an outdoor classroom for stuff, and I suggested this to them, and like, yeah, they want to do it, because it originally started out as some place for the ecological club there to do stuff. So from there, I worked with a guy named Chase, and he suggested that the benches should be made out of bluestone, organic. And we soon realized that that would corrode and decay over time. So it went from discussing it with him to kind of making it my own. And I turned it from bluestone to pressure treated, because that wouldn't rot away. That would stay. You could power wash it if people drew on it or spray painted it. It would be fine. I made those benches to commemorate teachers and people who have unfortunately passed away.
Thank you so much, Derek. Well, it's now time to introduce our Distinguished Citizen for 2020. It may not surprise you to know that he is an Eagle Scout himself, and we'd like to think that Ulster County Executive Pat Ryan's formative leadership skills were first recognized as a scout with Troop 20 in the town of Hurley, New York, 20 years ago, where he earned his Eagle. Pat's vision, commitment to action, and tireless compassion to immediately address the many issues faced by his constituents during the COVID-19 pandemic are the hallmarks of his leadership, and he's a role model for our scouting youth and our community at large. He was one of the first Hudson Valley leaders to quickly recognize and address the most urgent and important needs facing his constituents through his visionary Project Resilience program. Launched in March, Project Resilience started as a community fund and local food distribution effort established to support residents impacted by COVID-19. Within 24 hours of its inception, Pat secured more than $2 million in funding and announced partnerships with municipal governments, local businesses, and not-for-profits. Since launching, Project Resilience has provided nearly 300,000 meals while supporting more than 100 local small businesses. Under his leadership, Ulster County is one of the first to offer drive-through COVID testing on a large scale and a fully staffed COVID-19 hotline when the first case appeared. In June, Pat successfully led an effort to proactively test all nursing homes in the county, a model later adopted throughout New York State. His response continued with initiatives to fund temporary food services to seniors, expand subsidized child care to alleviate the struggles of working families, and provide emergency rental assistance, all as a result of COVID-19, to name just a few of his continuing initiatives. In addition, he keeps the lines of communication open, providing information and listening to concerns by individuals, businesses, and nonprofit organizations by holding weekly virtual town halls through Facebook Live and phone conferences. Let me tell you a little bit more about our honoree tonight. A Kingston High School graduate, Pat was then accepted at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Following graduation from West Point, he served 2 combat tours in Iraq as an Army intelligence officer. He entered public service after establishing a small technology company, which he grew to over 150 employees. Today, Pat and his wife Rebecca live in Gardner, where he will tell you one of the biggest challenges he has right now is keeping up with his son Theo, who is just now learning to walk. Here to present the 2020 Distinguished Citizen Award are Bill Calderera and Dana Coons. To Ulster County Executive Pat Ryan.
So Pat, first, as a citizen of Ulster County, I want to thank you for your leadership during this pandemic. It has been nothing short of wonderful. We appreciate what you've done for us all. And I know part of that probably came from some of the leadership skills that you learned as a Scout, and particularly as an Eagle Scout. So on behalf of the Rip Van Winkle Council of the Boy Scouts of America, I'd like to award you this year's Distinguished Citizen Award.
Thank you very much. And I would shake your hand, but we'll do our 2020 version of that. Thank you. Thank you. That's an honor. And I absolutely relied heavily on what I learned in Scouting in many ways. So I appreciate it. Hi, everyone. And thank you. Thank you so much. It's tough for me to put into words what this means in this recognition. I want to start by thanking the Rip Van Winkle Council, my home council, growing up as a Scout. I want to thank Bill for presenting the award and your leadership with Scouts, but also your leadership at the bank during this critical moment. And of course, I want to thank Dana for his leadership and the whole team. Figuring out how to do all these things in the midst of a pandemic is a huge challenge, and the way that you've stepped up and responded is really admirable and has had a big impact. So thank you to you individually and collectively as a team. I have to say I'm honored, I'm humbled, and I'm honestly surprised to receive this recognition. It feels like not that long ago, it was just about a little over 20 years ago, that I had my own Eagle Scout Court of Honor, and I can still vividly remember that moment and all the build up to it and the work that came to it. So maybe that means I'm getting old, but it feels fresh to me. So it really is humbling to receive this award, especially to be recognized by my fellow Scouts. Because for me, growing up, and even to this day, Scouting was and is such a key part of my life, the values that I've tried to live and serve by, and really made a big difference for me in my life. And some of the things that I think I've carried with me, number one, more than anything, was this sense of service. The idea that all of us are part of something bigger than ourselves, and that as such, we have a responsibility to give back and to serve that community that's done so much for us. And I think about some of the memories that really come to mind for me are the Scouting for Food drives, where we really saw what the need was and how we responded to it. Of course, all the Eagle projects I was a part of and my own, but just all the great work and service that Scouting does and that my troop did imbued in me this sense of service that has guided really me through the rest of my career. The other thing that I've taken from Scouting, or another thing, is leadership experience. I at a very young age, at a very formative stage, you're thrust into roles of leadership among your peers, and you have to learn how to navigate that, how to inspire your peers, how to earn their respect and their trust. And from that, I formed the foundations of my leadership style, this idea of servant leadership, that your role as a leader is really to amplify those that you're leading and empower them. And that's guided me through West Point and combat deployments and responding to a once in a century pandemic and a lot of other things. And I've taken that from scouting. And I think the other big thing I've taken from scouting, the core motto and ethos of be prepared, has served me very well, particularly over the last year. I remember coming in as we were starting to hear about COVID emerging in other parts of the world. I challenged our team to prepare and plan and get ready even when we didn't know that things were coming definitively. And that upfront work allowed us to be responsive, to really think critically, and then to stay calm under pressure. So those are just some of the big things that I've taken from scouting that have shaped me and helped, I think, put me in a position to guide our community through a really challenging point. And as I watched Ulster County and our community respond to COVID, with many scouts, both individually and collectively, on the front lines of the response, I was so blown away and humbled by how we stepped up, how we took care of each other, how we had each other's backs. And that really is reflective of so many of the core values of scouting. And so as I now think about scouting, looking forward, I have a new perspective. I have a 15-month-old son at home. He's not quite ready for scouts yet. But I think about what I want to teach him and the values I want him to have and the values that our community showed during this crisis. And it makes me even more certain that I want to encourage him to be a scout and to have that same set of experiences and those friendships and to learn those lessons that I did. And I think that especially as we face one of the most challenging and divisive moments in our country, building this ethos of community and compassion and being of service will be even more important to get us through these challenging times for the next generation. So I'm excited to hopefully be a part of that, and I really appreciate the honor and the recognition, although I don't feel that I deserve it. I want to, on that note, close by just recognizing and thanking someone who, on a very personal level, through my scouting experience, had a tremendous outsized impact on my whole life. And many of you know this individual, Bill Pitcher, who was the assistant scoutmaster at my troop 20 in Hurley, growing up. And unfortunately, he passed a few years ago. But the impact that he had on my life through scouting and beyond was just tremendous. And I think about that ripple effect that so many young people have, those experiences and those mentorships. So I would love to dedicate this to him and his memory and to so many other scout leaders that are doing this important work. So thank you very much. And I hope to continue to live up to the high standards that I learned in scouting and that this award calls out. So thanks.
We also asked Pat to share some of his favorite scouting memories and how his experience shaped him as a leader.
I have so many good memories from scouting. I think some of the big highlights are we would do this annual canoe trip up in the Adirondacks. And I remember being in the canoe with my dad and my friends and other leaders, and just being in awe of the beauty of this incredible place that we live in. And that's another one of the things that I gained from scouting, was just this appreciation for our environment and for conservation. So I think that's one of the fond memories. And the other really fond memory for me about scouting are the friendships that I built through scouting. I mean, to this day, some of my best friends that I still talk to every single day are friends I made in Troop 20. And I think that says a lot about what scouting is really about. Wow, I mean, on so many levels, scouting made a difference on my life. I mean, personally, it gave me these opportunities to make great friends and learn these skills and these values. And then I think not professionally, but in terms of my own growth and my maturity and what I went on to do in life, from West Point to military service to holding an office, it really gave me this set of skills and values that I almost on a daily basis I've relied on, and so I think it made such a difference for me, and I know that it did for a lot of my friends as well. Scouting makes a difference. Scouting makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Pat, for sharing your scouting experience with us and for all you've done and continue to do for Ulster County. This brings us to the close of our first ever virtual Distinguished Citizen Award dinner. There's still time to help Scouts right here in Ulster and Greene counties. Just click on the links in this Facebook post to make a donation or go right to our auction. The online auction is open until 6 p.m. Sunday, December 13th, so be sure to keep tabs on your auction bids. Like any event of this significance, we have so many people to thank. We want to thank our previous recipients of the Council's Distinguished Citizen Award, who selected this year's recipients. We want to thank our Eagle sponsor, Ulster Savings Bank, for their major contribution to this event and for all they do for the Rip Van Winkle Council Boy Scouts of America. We extend sincere thanks to all of our sponsors who are helping our Scouts make a difference through their contributions, and to all of the donors who gave to the Council through this event. Big thank you to the Council's executive board members who worked to produce this video, especially Bud Walker and Ann Murat. Thanks also to Steve Massey for his leadership on the auction, and to Scout Executive Dana Coons for his time and talent on this event and throughout the year to support Scouting. Last but certainly not least, the Council wants to thank this event's virtual production team of Elise Greenidge as videographer and Anthony Verano and Reg Osterhout of Town Square Media for their professional guidance and assistance. And to Carrie Vitek, principal of iDesign Graphic Design and Marketing Services, for her expertise. As we move to close our first ever virtual dinner and online auction, it's my pleasure to bring back Bill Calderera. Bill?
Thank you, Ward. On behalf of the Executive Board of the Rip Van Winkle Council, all of our Scouts, and all of our adult volunteers, I want to thank you for helping Scouts make a difference. I want to add my congratulations to this year's award recipients, Pat Ryan and Adams Ferry Farms. I want to thank all of our Distinguished Citizen Award virtual event sponsors, all of our donors, auction participants, and our Council volunteers for your many contributions to the Rip Van Winkle Council and our Scouting youth. Scouting makes a difference. I am now pleased to conclude this event with a brief closing ceremony.
On behalf of more than 1,500 Scouts and volunteers in the Rip Van Winkle Council, I want to thank Ulster County Executive Ryan and Adams Fairacre Farms for your leadership and commitment to taking care of our community. We are honored to celebrate you as 2020 Distinguished Citizens. Thank you to all of our sponsors and donors who are making a difference in our lives as Scouts through your generous contributions. Your donations help us make a difference through our service projects and make our community even better. You can help make a difference right now in the life of a Scout in Ulster or Greene counties by following the link on your screen. Don't forget, you can still bid in our auction by clicking on the link in this Facebook post, and all proceeds will go to Scouts in Ulster and Greene counties. Thank you, Mr. Todd, for doing such a great job of being our MC for this event. We really appreciate all you do for Scouting. And now we close with a Scouting tradition, a song usually sung at the end of the day at camp or at the end of a significant event. Tonight we share the first verse with you, recorded before the pandemic, and we look forward to singing Vespers with you sometime soon.
As our campfire fades away, silently each scout should ask, have I done my daily task? Have I kept my honor right? Can I give to sleep tonight? Oh, have I done and have I did everything